So all of you know that the Aile Québécoise, the Quebec wing, was established in the wake of the post-mortem of 2008 elections. The finding that most members in phases was the need to bring together better development tools and to improve communication in Quebec. If we wanted to move and not completely disappear as an alternative party for the Green voters in Quebec, we believed we had to grow a Green branch in Quebec that would better meet the expectations of members. In fall 2009, more than 25 EDAs met in Ile d'Orléans near Quebec City to write down and adopt the Constitution and the first regulations of the Quebec wing. The biannual conference in Toronto in 2010 formalized the Green Party will officially recognize the existence of the Quebec wing. In 2011, we held our first conference in Montreal, during which our leader, Elizabeth, and Deputy Leader Georges Larac attracted all the national media. We were on the eve of the federal election, and the meeting attracted unexpected attention on the existence of the Quebec wing and its electoral ambitions. Again, we held workshops to develop our structure to make it more dynamic, first define a primary action plan to better prepare for elections and to ensure better collaboration between EDAs and candidates during election. With the increased support of the party, despite the campaign to elect our leader, the Green Party in Quebec was much better received and more visible in several ridings. The wing can gather EDAs to strengthen our ties. Movers and shakers meet and discuss issues for Quebec and to advance the party not just in Quebec but for all of Canada. In May 2012, our convention in Quebec City focused on the definition and support of resolutions to be presented at this conference. We are proud to have contributed to the advancement of certain issues that are dear to Quebecers. It is clear that these motions were approved by the Congress with much enthusiasm. Your cooperation has been invaluable. At the federal level, Quebec has always had to deal with ideologies contrary to Canadian unity, in addition to having deep discussions between effective left and radical right. The last elections were a cold shower to the Harper conservatives in Quebec. It also brought us the demise of the Bloc Québécois. This dichotomy has stunned many Canadians. Both camps are already sharpening their knives to prepare to compete in the coming years. The NDP has created a Quebec wing, the Bloc and the NDP as new leaders, and those troops will probably be enlivened with the probable election of PQ government in a few weeks. The question of Quebec identity will again be at the forefront. The Green Party will have to face the music and not ignore the issue unavoidable for the next federal election. Who other than contingent, influential and solid Green Quebecers can bring an inclusive approach to strengthen the bond between Quebecers and Canadians? You know, I believe Quebec should be seen as a leader in progressive values across the country. We strive to demonstrate that the Green Party defends rigorously the aspirations of Quebec at a cultural level, but also with the values of integrity, participatory democracy, protection and conservation of natural resources, innovation of green economy, and social solidarity. Quebecers are sensitive to these values. To get there, we developed a strategy for Quebec included in the national strategy of the party. We have developed some specific objectives, and finally we come to develop some actions that guide us to achieve our objectives in the coming years. I'm not going to show them here, but you will probably find them soon on the party website, I assure you. We need to bring the forefront in approaching fundamental values of Quebec citizens. The Green Party has to invest and take root in the heart of Quebec. The Aile Québécoise have a fundamental role in to install the confidence of Quebecers in our party. Thus, we first developed a plan of action to stimulate members to have presence throughout Quebec. The structure in place, the tools should follow shortly and go to local organizations. The arrival of a new organizer for Quebec is welcome, but it is not enough. The opportunity is given to us to take control of the message that is there to 2,500 marchers of Earth Day last year. The challenge will be to move our election commitments in the national media, especially local and social. A colossal work must be done in advance. We must resolutely develop communication strategy unique to Quebec, in French and in English. Thus, we believe it is time to create a real party director of Francophone communications. We also know that the cornerstone to increase our chances is to raise more money. Our priority will be the party, and we will make every effort to increase our fundraisings. But in this vein, we need to rally other environmental and civil society groups to our cause. We must thwart the bloc on national unity by defending our distinction from other federal parties and stick to our progressive values in Quebec. We must have winning attitude and prepare to respond to attacks on our credibility. Thus, l'Aile Québécoise must be the entity best placed to make the analysis of priorities, identification of messages, and policy recommendations to take root quickly in Quebec. The emergency calls us to rapidly implement our strategy for Quebec. If the party claims to be from the forces of alternative media, environmentalists, and emerging ideas, then we need to apply and to join forces with the natural base and convince these people that their values are well reflected, strongly reflected in the Green Party. We must not be a party of words, but one of ideas and actions, sharing innovative ideas, experiences, and successful strategies while respecting the core value as a party. I'm proud of what we have accomplished in the Aile Québécoise until now. Despite our limited financial and human resources, we have given the signal that we want this party deeply rooted in Quebec. Our participation in this conference was for the delegates of Quebec Wing to present, of the Quebec Wing something fabulous. We presented 8 motions. They have been adopted with all valuable input. For me, it is a wonderful demonstration that we are working with all of you and that green values are understood and accepted by all Canadians. This conference has allowed us to meet activists committed, determined, and experienced. This weekend has been a privilege for us and gives us already a second wing to put us firmly in action for the coming years. And I can assure you that Quebec will no longer be the province with less than 4% of vote in the next election. We will do everything we can so that the next time we may rejoice to have helped to elect the first Green MPs in Quebec. Thank you.